All right, I think I'm doing this right. Kennedy, I know you're going to see this, and I just want to give a shout out and tell you this wouldn't be possible without you. I want to say hi to Kennedy, who's been helping me just be less afraid of social media and Instagram. So I just went and I recorded a 20-minute long video on tulip poplar medicine, which was a big deal because I've been very quiet the last year. No podcast, no YouTube. I've not offered any new class series. I finally decided to use my voice. I record it. I'm in the middle of watching it, like the replay, to make sure everything looks okay, and it just disappears. And I was like, are you serious? No, today's the day. IG Live, I'm getting these thoughts and feelings out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share some of Tulip Poplar's medicine here in this place live. So it's done. IG has it and it's recorded. So part of how I want to begin is that I have been quiet and it is time for me to talk again. And when I was deciding, well, what do I want to say? What do I have to give? What do I have to offer? Why should I add my voice, frankly, to the noise sometimes, the cacophony that's out there? I don't know about you, but sometimes it's a little much for me and I have to turn down the volume and step away. So what do I have to share and to offer? And the answer that I received was my heart. You have your heart. You can share your heart and offer your heart, which, as you might imagine, is a pretty vulnerable answer to that question. So I said, okay, well, what does that mean? What does it mean to share my heart? And for me, sharing tulip poplar medicine at this time is what feels most authentically my heart. Feels vulnerable in its sharing, but also feels safe, a good container for sharing the medicine. So I want to begin by telling a story of when I first met tulip poplar. I was drawn to the tree. I didn't even know what the tulip poplar tree was. It was just a particular tree that I kept seeing, I was drawn to. And so I decided that I wanted to sit with it, just like I had sat with nettles and mullein and lady's mantle and violet up to that point, and just see what's possible, what communication is possible. And I was sort of excited because this was going to be, my first tree that I was going to hopefully communicate with, connect with, have a conversation with. So I sat down near this lovely tulip poplar that was near my home at the time in Virginia. And the impression that I got from it was, these are the words that came, and there'll be other videos that unpack this. Impenetrable fortress. That's what I got. It was like there was a moat around the tree, and the energy between the tree and I was thick. Like it was just dense. Like there was no connecting. There was a wall between the tree and I, which is incredibly disappointing because mullein and nettles had been so inviting, it seemed, and compared to the tulip poplar, which just seemed just untouchable, not reachable. So a few weeks later, I was in a class at Green Comfort School of Herbal Medicine with my teacher, Teresa Bourdwine, and Matthew Wood was there that weekend teaching, and tulip poplar comes up in the class. And he mentions it. And a woman in the class says, oh, I just love the tulip poplar tree. It loves humans. It's such a loving tree. And the whole room becomes, a buzz with her saying, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so lovely. I love this tree. Everybody agrees. It's so loving. It loves humans. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, that's not what I got. So I listen. And then I tentatively sort of raise my hands because I'm in the back. And Matt sort of nods for me to, add what I have. And I said, that's not what I got. when I sat with this tree, what I got was that it's an impenetrable fortress, and it didn't seem open to communicating with me. And the whole room like buzzes. Oh, no, no, that's not it. That's not right. That's not right. Oh, no, 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 no. And I sat there thinking, well, okay, but I mean, like, that's what I got, you know? So I just sit there because I don't know what to make of it either. I'm new to this whole thing. And Matt, who's usually, you know, he's a kind man. He's soft-spoken. He gives space for people to feel what they feel, think what they think, say what they say. You know, he doesn't try to dominate spaces. But he spoke very firmly, and he said, that's enough. It's teaching Amanda something else. And like the whole room got quiet. And that was that. We moved on. And now I've been with this tree for about 10 years. And a few years back, I thought of that moment and when Matt said that. And I realized just how true his words were. And, you know, I don't think he really knew how true they were either. But since then, it has taught me why I felt what I felt. Because the tulip poplar really isn't an impenetrable fortress. We'll unpack this another time. But what I learned was I was an impenetrable fortress. It's taught me a lot about blue heron medicine and deer and bear and vulnerability and dragons and golden hearts and fly medicine and singing and voice and incarnation. So many things. So many things. And so I'll just drop it here and leave it here. That maybe the same is true for you. You know, maybe you are meant to learn something different too. Maybe the message that you're receiving is different too. Maybe what everybody else is hearing and what everybody else is getting isn't what you got, isn't what you heard. You know, maybe you have your own unique path, your own unique medicine that you're meant to embody in this world. And part of the reason that I made this like 20-minute long video before was to share tulip poplar, which I'm only sharing one aspect of what I shared in the video. In the video, there were 3, although it has many more aspects. That was the 3 for today. So I'll share those maybe as the week goes on. But I shared them as part of an invitation to be a part of what I offer, part of my heart, which is virtual residencies, plant medicine virtual residencies for, you know, what is your medicine? What is something different that is meant for you? You know, we have the sort of packaged herbal classes, which is good. Like, we need the foundation a lot of times, sometimes not. Sometimes it's not what we need. We want to do something else. You know, but what about when you want to go off the beaten path? What about when they skipped over that plant too fast, or that aspect of the plant they didn't cover, or you had more questions about that, you were more curious about that, or you wanted to share your own experiences? Exactly. So why not? Like, why not go off and explore what aspect of plant medicine you're most interested in? What if you discover your own medicine? What if you find out what medicine you're uniquely meant to bring into this world? Because I really do believe that what's out there right now is not all that there is. I really believe that the plants have new medicine to share. I think we're moving into a new earth and a new world. We need new medicine. Things are shifting. Things are changing. So, new medicine. So, there are things yet discovered, I believe, yet to be known about plants and their medicine. So, for me with tulip poplar, I couldn't find anything when I was first introduced to her. I couldn't find anything. And I remember going to Matt because he had this little, oh, there's Kennedy. Kennedy, I mentioned you at the beginning of this video, and I say you're going to be so proud of me for doing this. But I remember going to Matt and saying, what can you tell me about Tulip Poplar? Because he had like a smaller section in one of his books, but I thought he probably has more that, that didn't make it into the book. And he said to me, that's all I got. And I was like, oh, come on. So I, Googled and I looked for books, and it's just not out there. So everything that I learned about the tulip poplar tree, everything that I share, everything that I've written, everything that I say, I've gotten from simply sitting with the tree, being with it, and gathering it up. Does that mean someone else in the world hasn't received it too? Of course not. Does that mean someone else in the past hasn't received it? Of course not. I can't find it anywhere. So for me, it's like new medicine. Medicine that I don't see in a book. I don't see online. It's new medicine to share. And I believe that what I've experienced with the tulip poplar is possible for any of us and all of us, with violet, with plantain, with oak, with prickly ash, with burdock, with black cohosh. They have more to say than what's been written. They have more to say than what's been recorded. They're more than constituents, than herbal actions, than bold-faced terms, than the same case study stories. Even though all those are part of their story, they have more to say. So what if you decided to dive deep and to see what plant is calling you? Who has medicine they want to share with you that's never been shared before? I am doing it, Kennedy. Aren't you so proud of me? Yeah, I'm so glad. So I'm going to wind this up because I'm the sort of person that could go on and on and on and on, especially about the tulip poplar. I'm going to be back because I only covered one of the 3 points that I had recorded earlier today that got lost. So I'll be back, and honestly, there's scores of stories to tell about tulip poplar. Okay. I did it. I'm super proud of myself. I actually feel like this is like some sort of tulip poplar moment that I can't like articulate with words yet, but yeah, getting on here and just using my voice again and being seen sort of off the cuff live is definitely like the work of tulip poplar after a hard several years. Okay. Thank you so much. I'd love to hear from you if you have your own tulip poplar stories, or if you want to be part of the virtual residencies. I think the link is in my bio, and you can find a little spot there and send me a note. All right, bye-bye.